why black people shouldn't be celebrating the 4th of July, and I'm gonna break it all the way down for you. Okay, so before the United States existed, this land was made up of 13 British colonies. The people living here were called colonists before Britain ruled them. So the white colonists got tired of Britain telling them what to do. They said, we want our freedom. We don't want Britain controlling us anymore. So they fought a war and won. So on July 4th, 1776, they declared independence from Britain. But here's the part a lot of people don't talk about. While these white colonists were celebrating their own freedom, they still kept hundreds and thousands of black people enslaved. So they wanted freedom for themselves, but they didn't want to give that same freedom to black people. So the 4th of July celebrates our enslaved ancestors' oppressors' freedom. Like the nerve of them to want freedom but not give black people freedom. And that is why many black people say that wasn't our Independence Day. The nerve of them to believe that no one should rule over them without their consent. But hey, celebrate what you want to celebrate. I'm just giving you the true facts and the history behind the 4th of July.
Friendly reminder to black people, this ain't our goddamn holiday. Don't you be out there buying them fireworks, wearing no goddamn stars and stripes. Because while these motherfuckers was celebrating their newfound independence, our black-ass ancestors was still chained. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, but it's Independence Day, for who?
When black folks celebrate the 4th of July, it just shows how ignorant they are about American history. Because the 4th of July was never about black folks. Our ancestors were still enslaved. They didn't celebrate with the Europeans. The European gained independence over Great Britain after they won the war. The black folks wasn't included in it.
I don't know why people keep asking me what I'm doing for the 4th of July. Baby, I'm not in my black ass business. Do you understand? America's independence? For who? That wasn't for us, baby. Look at the times that we're living in. Y'all worried about what we doing for the 4th?
So this generation don't barbecue? Y'all not doing nothing for the 4th? Y'all not finna put no ribs, no chicken, no steak on the grill? Bitches, y'all don't make potato salad, green beans, mac and cheese, spaghetti, nothing? What the fuck do y'all do?
Anybody gonna tell her? Anybody gonna tell her? We don't celebrate the 4th no more, ho. That ain't our holiday no more. Our holiday is Juneteenth. That shit just passed. Did you barbecue then? Did you put some motherfucking barbecue hot links on the motherfucking grill? Did you put some chicken on the grill? Did you put some steaks on the grill? Did you cook some motherfucking potato salad? Shit. Talking about why we not doing shit for the motherfucking 4th of July. We don't celebrate the 4th no more.
Stop playing with my fellow black people. I'm not even playing about, as y'all should. Thank you. Thank you. Period.
Hi guys, my name is Kelvin, and you're welcome back to the channel. Every single year, America comes alive on the 4th of July. The fireworks, the backyard cookouts, the flags everywhere, the red, white, and blue outfits. You'd think every single American is celebrating the exact same thing. But are they? Because while millions of people see the 4th of July as a celebration of freedom, there's another conversation that happens every single year, especially within parts of the black community. A lot of black Americans don't celebrate the 4th of July at all. And when you actually learn the history, you start to understand why. This isn't about telling anyone they can't enjoy a barbecue or watch fireworks, celebrate whatever you want. But I do think history deserves honesty, because freedom means something very different depending on who your ancestors were in 1776. So, let's talk about it.
Tomorrow's the 4th of July, so it's just a friendly reminder to black people, this ain't our goddamn holiday. Don't you be out there buying them fireworks, wearing no goddamn stars and stripes. Because while these motherfuckers was celebrating their newfound independence, our black-ass ancestors was still chained. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, but it's Independence Day. For who? For who? Last I checked, we gained our independence years later. Almost 100 years later. And still didn't really gain no independence, you dig? Nah, just promised 40 acres and a mule just for that to be given to the white slave owners. Reparations to be given to the white slave owners. What you celebrating for? Your ancestors went from chains to sharecropping, to vagrancy laws, and back into the prison industrial complex. Chain gangs. And also watched our towns get burned and destroyed and their families murdered. So, Your ancestors would be turning over in their grave, watching your black ass go out there wearing American flag attire, watching fireworks at the cookouts with these white people. Even at a cookout at your own house with your family. Celebrating what? What? Some bullshit, that's what. You want to wear something out tomorrow? Go ahead and get you something that's black, red, and gold. Matter of fact, go buy you a black American heritage flag. Yeah, do that. Do that. But we damn sure ain't out here celebrating no colonizer-ass holiday. You dig? Okay, bye.
When black folks celebrate the 4th of July, it just shows how ignorant they are about American history. Because the 4th of July was never about black folks. Our ancestors were still enslaved. They didn't celebrate with the Europeans. The European gained independence over Great Britain after they won the war. The black folks wasn't included in that. They were still gaining off of our backs. They were still winning off of us. So for us to go and celebrate with our oppressor, with the slave master and their families, shows how ignorant we still are to this day, and that we really don't want to wake up. Some of us, not all of us. But for us to celebrate with them is foolish. It's more honorable for a white person to celebrate Juneteenth than it is for us to celebrate the 4th of July. Because at least they standing with black folks to say that they was against enslaving us. And they was against the injustice against us. For us to celebrate with them stands for nothing. Because we were still enslaved. It stands for nothing. This day means nothing to us. The 4th of July means nothing to me at all, because I know the truth. And for us to celebrate is just proof that we still don't want to know the truth, or that we just ignore it and go with the flow. Still lost in the sauce.
Here are some reasons blacks shouldn't celebrate July 4th. First, we shouldn't celebrate our oppression or with the oppressor who celebrates July 4th as their Independence Day, all while they held our ancestors and continue to try to block true liberation and independence for us. Second, 3 of Trump appointed justices just gutted the Voting Rights Act. Third, Trump eliminated disparate impact, a very important tool for civil rights. Fourth, Trump eliminated hundreds of thousands of black jobs since he's been back in office. Fifth, Trump is erasing black history from schools, national parks, and so forth. 6, Trump is targeting black professionals like General Charles Brown, Dr. Lisa Cook, and others. 7th, Trump is refusing to enforce civil rights laws for blacks, including black students. 8, Trump's EEOC is requesting white men only file EEOC complaints. 9th, Trump is dismantling the Department of Education that has been protecting black students from discriminatory practices. 10th, Trump is trying to nationalize federal elections with the voter suppression bill, the Save America Act. 11th, Trump gutted an Obama-era rule called the Affirmative Furthering Fair Housing Rule, and it's designed to enforce the Fair Housing Act. 12th, Trump is rejecting blacks' attempts to get reparations and is blocking jurisdictions like Evanston, Illinois, that are already giving blacks reparations. And of course, the last is I incorporate all the great things that Frederick Douglass gave in his speech, What Has the 4th of July to Do with Us? And as always, stay woke.
Tell me why you're not celebrating the 4th of July this year. I'll go first. Because I care about children. Let me explain. The 4th of July essentially celebrates a settler state. We all know the United States wouldn't exist without the genocide of indigenous people. We all just pretend like it doesn't matter that much. But our settler state neighbors to the north know a little something about uncovering the truth. Officials recently found over 200 indigenous children's bodies at a residential school in Canada, and the number of mass graves continue to grow. According to The Week, over 6,000 indigenous children died in residential schools in Canada, and these weren't really schools. They were sites of physical, spiritual, and psychological torture of indigenous people and their families. And this happened here too. The last residential schools in the United States closed in the 1970s. And our government has promised to open up an investigation, but that's not going to happen until we signal boost. Because a weird thing happens with numbers. When they get really high, we start to not care as much. So visualize one child. How can you celebrate that?
Imagine on 4th of July, we went to white people and told them, stay out the past. None of y'all was tarred and feathered. None of y'all was forced to court a soldier. Y'all just trying to live off the victimization of people that came before you. Nobody alive today was born a 13 colonist, and nobody born today was born a redcoat. Imagine how crazy that would sound. That's how y'all sound when y'all trying to chastise black folks and talking about the past. When you're going further in the past, 1776, then we are talking about 1860, whatever we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I think Calvin Warren was talking about when he's talking about the trick of time, and how a lot of Europeans and people of a European descent love to manufacture errors and pathology around how black people uniquely talk about time compared to when they talk about time. Because when they want to talk about time, it's a hunky-dory, celebratory victory. When we talk about it, victimization. You just want to be, that's why you can't move forward. Nobody born today was tarred and feathered. Nobody born today was a redcoat, but you still identify with the empowering nature of those colonists, don't you? Education is elevation.
Hey, stop scrolling for a sec. I got another important message. To every black person watching this video, do not, and I mean please do not, get sucked into celebrating July 4th this year, Independence Day. I know a lot of y'all are young on here, and I don't know what they got in your history books today, but we weren't taught the full truth when we were in school. We were not free July 4th, 1776. It wasn't until June 19th, 1865, also known as Juneteenth, that all slaves were free. Not even immediately following the Emancipation Proclamation, which was issued January 1st, 1863, which means it still took 2 more extra years for the last of the slaves that were here in Texas to be free. And the reason why I say free is because even that wasn't instant. Juneteenth should be our July 4th. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a national holiday at this point. So if you didn't know before, now you know. Don't allow the fireworks and the hot dogs and all that other stuff to distract you from the matter at hand. July 4th was not our Independence Day. Share this with your friends and keep this in your memory banks. I'm sorry y'all ain't being taught everything you need to learn in the classroom, but this is pure truth. July 4th is canceled.
And I'm telling you right now, the Ski Mask Club will be out on July 4th if I catch any Negro celebrating his slave master's freedom. How we doing, ladies? All right, good to see you. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate you, babe. Thank you. All right, y'all. We are declaring independence. I'm going to work on that Declaration of Independence. If you don't want to be independent, no problem. You will be the nation of coons. We will let the government of America know that there are some Negroes who did not want to be free. They are the nation of coons. We will let Joe Biden know that there's a few million of us who don't want to be free. But for those of us who are declaring independence, we want it to be known that we shall now, herefore, and forevermore be known as the name that we choose, brothers and sisters. Revolution. July 4th, I better not catch a Negro celebrating it. We are not playing. The Goonie Goon Goons, the Ski Mask Club, we better not see no cookouts. We better not see no celebrations. We better not see no red, white, and blue flags. I better not catch one of you coons celebrating your oppressor's freedom. I better not. I better not. I better not catch a coon on July 4th celebrating this slave master's freedom. I better not. We're not having it this year. July 4th has been banned in the black community. Effective immediately, July 4th celebrations.
Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, if you are really still out here celebrating the 4th of July unironically, then you have officially outed yourself as an op, okay? You're the enemy. That's a major red flag, because why? For what reason? Really? I mean, come on, man. Seriously? You really still out here being patriotic? After everything that this country has been doing to us for years now? Decades even? Have you heard about the bullshit that the Supreme Court has been doing recently? These legislators are trying to take our basic freedoms away one by one and basically turn us into a fascist regime. And you really still out here waving around an American flag, acting like you proud? Be fucking for real. I don't know, man. If you ask me, we need to take some notes out of Francis' book and start burning some shit down. I'm just saying.
Black people, today not for us. It's not our day. Our ancestors were still slaves in 1776 when the Declaration of Independence was signed. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't come to about 1863, and guess what? Those black folk down here in Texas were still slaves. It took a minute to get that message. You feel me? Not to mention they trying to control y'all coochies. So what's independent about that? So I say we just do away with the 4th of July. What y'all think? I'm good. I ain't celebrating.
Hey everybody, I'm here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. And today we're having a huge party at my son's house. It's my grandson's 4th birthday celebration today. And we've got kids running everywhere and music playing and all the preparations that we're doing. We got the grill fired up and it's not a quiet corner anywhere in that house, okay? So I'm out on the back deck enjoying a cup of coffee and just naturally me, no makeup, hair all over my head, you know, whatever. But I tell you what I'm doing. I'm relishing how very blessed I am. And I want to wish all of y'all a happy 4th of July. But before you fire up that grill, I want to tell you something that they didn't teach you in school. July the 5th, 1852, Rochester, New York, a formerly enslaved man named Frederick Douglass. He stands in front of an anti-slavery society, right? And they ask him to give a 4th of July speech. And he says something that nobody expected, right? He says, "This 4th of July is yours. It's not mine. You may rejoice, but I must mourn." Now let that sit for just a second. Not, "I hate my country." That's not what he said. He didn't say, "Let's burn it down." No, that's not what he said. He said, "Your celebration and my reality are two different things happening on the same day." He asked the crowd directly, "What have I, or those that I represent, to do with your national independence?" Because the liberty everyone was toasting to didn't extend to the 4 million enslaved people living under that same flag, did it not? And here's the part that gets left out, okay? He was not done. He said he still didn't despair of the country. He did not. He believed in the principles. He believed in the Declaration. He just refused to pretend that the country was already living up to what was in that Declaration. And that's not unpatriotic, y'all. That is probably the most patriotic thing a person can do. Hold the country to what it said it believed. Hold their little toes to the fire. So today, while you're celebrating with your family, I want you to hold both things at once. The gratitude for how far we've come and the honesty about how long the road still is for a lot of people, okay? Douglas didn't ask anybody to cancel the holiday. And I wouldn't do that either. He asked them to tell the truth about it, okay? And that's what I'm doing right now, teaching the history that they buried. You know I'm going to do that. Now I'm the Notorious Nana, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your day with your family today, because I'm definitely going to enjoy mine with mine. Bye for now.
Hey, all my beautiful white people. 4th of July for us is not a celebration of independence. We don't recognize 4th of July as a day of independence for us at all. So What we do enjoy are the fireworks, family, and food. Oh, the drinks and stuff, yeah. But, yeah, I don't take it that seriously. You know, I don't have any celebrations I'm doing today. I don't have any fireworks, but I'm gonna look at some. So enjoy the day, be responsible, and stay educated. It's time to care about one another. Peace.
One thing that immediately caught my attention in this video is how direct everyone is. They're basically saying, this isn't our Independence Day. At first that sounds shocking, especially if you grew up believing July 4th represents freedom for everyone. But then you stop and think about the timeline. America declared independence from Britain in 1776. At that exact moment, millions of black people were still enslaved. They weren't celebrating freedom. They were still being bought and sold, still working plantations, still legally considered property. So, I completely understand why some people ask a simple question. Freedom for who? That's not an attack on America. That's a historical question. And history gives us the answer. What's interesting is that this conversation seems to happen much more among black Americans than among many black immigrants. You'll often see immigrants from Africa or the Caribbean celebrating the 4th of July with fireworks, family gatherings, and huge parties. And that's their choice. Many came to America chasing opportunities and naturally want to celebrate becoming part of the country. There's nothing wrong with that. But black Americans have a different historical relationship with the United States. Their family history didn't begin with immigration. It began with slavery, segregation, and generations of fighting to gain rights that were promised but not equally enjoyed. Those are different experiences. That's why I don't think it's fair to expect everyone to view this holiday through the same lens. History shapes perspective. Another thing I couldn't help but notice is the difference in how holidays are celebrated. Every year, the 4th of July gets massive fireworks displays, national television coverage, citywide celebrations, concerts, and huge public events. It's one of the biggest holidays in the country. But then, look at holidays like Black History Month or Juneteenth. Yes, recognition has grown in recent years, but they still don't receive the same level of national attention in many places. That difference stands out to a lot of people, whether someone agrees with that comparison or not. It's understandable why some people ask why one part of American history receives such large-scale celebration, while other parts receive far less public recognition. Another point that really stood out to me is how often people say learning history is somehow divisive. I don't agree. Learning history isn't about making people feel guilty. It's about understanding how we got here. You can't appreciate progress if you don't understand what people had to overcome. And you certainly can't have honest conversations if uncomfortable parts of history are ignored, simply because they make people uncomfortable. One of the most powerful references in this discussion is Frederick Douglass's speech, "What to the slave is the 4th of July." That speech wasn't written last year. It wasn't written because of social media. It was written in 1852, more than 170 years ago. That tells you this conversation isn't new. People were asking these same questions while slavery still existed. That's why I think it's important not to dismiss these discussions as people trying to rewrite history. They're actually asking people to remember all of history, not just the parts that are easy to celebrate. Now, I also think it's important to recognize that Black Americans are not a monolith. Some proudly celebrate July 4th. Some celebrate both July 4th and Juneteenth. Others don't celebrate Independence Day at all. Every family has its own traditions, beliefs, and experiences. No one speaks for everyone. But regardless of where someone stands, I think understanding the history behind these different viewpoints makes the conversation much more meaningful. Because when someone says, "I don't celebrate the 4th," they may not be rejecting the country itself. They may be acknowledging that the freedom celebrated in 1776 did not include their ancestors. That's a historical fact, and I think that's where the biggest misunderstanding happens. People hear criticism of the holiday and immediately assume it's hatred toward America, but asking whether freedom was equally experienced isn't the same thing as denying that independence from Britain happened. Both ideas can't exist at the same time. America gained independence, and millions of enslaved people remained without freedom. Those two truths don't cancel each other out. They exist together. To me, that's why history should always be taught with context, not because context ruins celebrations, but because context creates understanding. History is rarely as simple as one sentence in a textbook. It's complicated. It's inspiring in some places and heartbreaking in others. Ignoring either side doesn't make history more accurate. It makes it incomplete. At the end of the day, I think everyone has the right to celebrate, or not celebrate, the 4th of July. But I also think everyone benefits from understanding why different Americans see the holiday differently. Because once you understand the history, even if you don't agree with every opinion in this video, you can at least understand where those opinions come from. And that's how real conversations begin. But those are my thoughts. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the 4th of July represents freedom for all Americans? Or do you think its meaning depends on whose history you're looking at? Do you think Juneteenth and Black History Month receive the recognition they deserve compared with other national celebrations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, keep the conversation respectful. If you enjoyed this commentary, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
5 reasons I do not celebrate July 4th. 1. Independence Day did not free everyone. This country was founded on indigenous genocide by white colonizers who stole and then enslaved millions of Africans. Not much to be patriotic about there. Those enslaved folks then built this nation and its economy without reparations to this day. Remember that the majority of the folks who signed the Declaration of Independence owned enslaved black folks. Some 75% of them. 2. Slavery was not fully abolished in 1865 with the Emancipation Proclamation, as you were probably taught. The 13th Amendment legalizes slavery as punishment for a crime, and black codes then established convict leasing, incentivizing the arrest of black folks for so-called crimes such as vagrancy, which was not being employed or, quote, appearing homeless. The 13th Amendment is still in place today, and that history of systemic racism and present reality explain why black folks are overrepresented in the prison system, why black folks are more likely to get more intense sentences, why black youth are 8.5 times more likely to be tried as adults than white counterparts for the same crimes, why black men receive 20 to 50% longer sentences than white men for the same crimes.